All right, we got here Polaris 400 Sportsman. We have these are all Polaris's, 150 and a 570. This one I have to adjust the chain, PMs, and this one is PMs. This one is bogging down and PMs. So far, I did check the air filter. I took the box off. The lid gasket is kind of crappy, so I want to replace that for sure. The air filter is definitely dirty, but just looking around, it bogs down, so I have to figure out what's going on with that. Most likely it's a fuel problem, but I want to check everything. Yeah, it looks kind of leaky and stuff. Some leaking, little leaks there, here and there. It's pretty dirty, as to be expected. I think I'm actually going to put my scope on this, and I want to read secondary. I want to see if it's running lean. That'll tell me if it's a carburetor problem or not. These do have problems with the camshafts wearing out. This only has, I think this is like 500 something miles, so I don't think that's an issue. I haven't even started it yet. Got some residue on this. This is really hard to film. It's very dirty, and right here that my flashlight's touching, they're known to leak as well. So I want to start it up, see if I have a leak there. A friend of mine, he's dead set on it being the carburetor, which I don't dispute. However, I don't want to just start taking stuff apart. I'd much rather put a little effort into testing it, and in that way I know for sure before I take the carburetor off. Probably gummed up from the gas that we have now with all the ethanol. Not very good on these little motors. Probably most likely the carburetor. What's another 10 minutes just hooking up the scope, checking it out. I'm in this little tiny 150. I gotta get this thing. I don't even know if I could drive it, it's so small. Man. Whoa. I gotta get this thing on some level ground. I don't know what that noise is. This is the parking brake. It's not on. This thing's so small I can barely turn the wheel. Something's going on in the back here. Not sure this is exactly level, but oh my god, I'm stuck in here. Is this thing in neutral? Ugh. Some clanking going on back here. It's kind of a situation where I'm going to need some help, actually. I'm too big to be in this friggin' thing to see what's going on here. Let me see if I can get a little. It's gonna make a liar out of me now. Put it in reverse. I can see something happen with the wheels. Banging. Alright, well, I'll get to that later. I'm actually going to do this one first, because this one, battery's so dead, it's at like, it was less than a volt, and it won't stay running with the jumper packs on it. And I don't know how long it's been that way, to tell you the truth. That could actually be the problem. I mean, if this thing's got a bad battery in it and is not able to stay running, putting this one on hold, he's going to go grab me a battery so I can put a fresh battery in here. Yeah, that noise was the chain. Right here, this whole thing's moving. So everything's loose. I think, well, this is the chain adjustment, but it pivots. I don't know if there's a, I'll have to try to find the mount, make sure nothing's busted. It might just be loose. I don't know if they tried to adjust it themselves or what, but that's no bueno. You see the whole engine moving. Yeah, that mount right there is broken. It looks like the mount's broken. There's a bushing in there. See how that's moving around like that? That bushing looks like it's separated right there. So that's bad. So I can't adjust this chain. Alright, so that's that side. There's another one. Yeah, there's one on this side here, which I can't really see. Kind of need a way to torque this motor. Yeah, that's kind of. Alright, so yeah, the bushing's bad right there. See at the bottom, if I can get it to focus. At the bottom there, bushing's pushed out. Alright, so this needs engine mounts. This needs engine mounts before I can adjust that chain. It's missing the chain guard too. Yeah, it's a good amount, huh? Something looks weird here. I don't know if you can tell. All right, I don't go vertical on you here, but if you notice, that caliper piston right there is that's caliper piston on rotor. And if you look on this side, you do have a brake pad. I've never had one of these apart, but it doesn't look right to me. That piston looks like it's worn. Yeah, so I think this is going to need a rear caliper. I'm going to try to work the brake. I kind of didn't want to do this. I kind of wanted to test. I think what I might do is I might actually pull the carburetor, check inside. I gotta wait for him to get a battery, and I can't do the chain on that one because it needs mounts. They only got one oil change kit over there. It doesn't really matter if I do the oil change on that right now or not, whatever. And this one here, it's got so much shit on it. I have to have him take all this stuff off so I can access everything. If I'm gonna do PM work, I need to be able to get to everything. Yeah, it's one of those days where I come out and I get nothing accomplished. I hate that. I hate that more than anything. More surprises. We got a nest here. We got some electrical damage. Not exactly sure what that's to, but I believe that's your ignition box. But you got something was living in here. This thing's full of surprises. Oh wait, here's the CDI box right down here. I think I got gloves on. Okay. This looks like it might go up to the lighting or something. That'll have to get repaired. This wire here is chewed up as well. This one doesn't look like it's through, so I could probably just wrap that one up. A little spot here as well. Like I said, I don't even know what it's for. Let's check the coolant while I'm here. The reservoir's empty. Let's check this. Okay, we got coolant in there. Front drive shaft has a little bit of play in this U-joint here. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit of play. Let me finish getting this thing off so I can actually get to the carburetor. Bummer. Worst part about this is I don't have my truck because I'm still waiting on the valves for my truck so I can get my engine back together. So I'm working out of this. And all this stuff is standard. So I'm trying to get all this off with metric stuff, and it ain't working very well. Harbor Freight's right down the street. I might actually have to go buy a friggin' cheap ass set because I'm not driving all the way home for that. And we got some play here, but I don't know how much is normal for that. Doesn't feel like it's in the knuckle, and the joint just feels like it's more in there, which may be normal. I don't know. And then the outsides are CV. But I got to get this winch off. That bracket right there is on top, but I can't get this off. And I got to try to find all the bolts there with all the dirt. This is going to be fun. Alright, so I got a battery now, right? I'm probably going to have to take a trip to get tools for this. His brother, you know, told me the truth about what's going on. And maybe he's got tools for me to take this off from here. But supposedly he said this thing was sitting for years, probably in that container back there. This had a big nest in it and all that. This thing's got broken motor mounts, so I can't even adjust the chain because the motor just moves all over the place. It's like a waste of a day. Can't see anything out here. That's basically, they're all basically the same. When I measure the burn time, it's 0.8. Pretty much 0.8 on all. Yeah, 0.7 milliseconds. It's got that downward look to it. I just need to know, would bad gas look like that? Maybe? This thing's been sitting in a barn for years. It's bogging down. I don't know if you heard it on the video, but they all look the same. They have the same characteristic. It's a single cylinder engine. Looks like just under 5K. Found a little something interesting. I can't see nothing, but I'm gonna try to, I don't know if you can see that. Spray right. Right there. Spray a little bit up here. Out a little when I'm spraying the carb. This thing only runs with the choke pulled out. That's halfway through. It won't run at all if I push it in. It's been running for a little while now. And I can't see shit over here. Smooths out a little bit. One time I did it, its idle flared up pretty good. Now I can't get it to do it. Yeah, that carburetor gasket seems to me like it's leaking a little. This might be a major issue here while I'm not getting a good signal. Nah, it's still the same. Got multiple issues here. This is some type of filter. This is for your vacuum that goes to the air box. Really, really soft. And look at it on there. It's almost worn through in a spot. So that hose is going to have to get replaced. It's really soft. Okay, and then I come in here. The idle sounds better. I'm spraying that right on that gasket there. So the carb definitely has to come out. The carb is gummed up. New batteries in. Air filter's clogged, and I want to replace the gasket that goes on this air box. I gotta get all this off. I gotta take the whole winch off and everything to get the carburetor out. Because I gotta take the fuel tank out. When I get the fuel tank out, I gotta get this off. And this is sandwiched in there. That's all I can really do today. I'm gonna have to reschedule. I'm gonna have to order those parts, and then once we get those parts, I gotta get this thing off, and then we can dive into the carburetor. I would order a carburetor rebuild kit for it, just to have it while I'm taking it apart. And I would somehow try to clean out this gas tank. There's probably varnish in there. I tried looking in with a flashlight. I couldn't really tell. It's black, so I can't really tell if there's any varnish from the black. Yeah, the carburetor's clean because I was spraying brake clean on it. But yeah, I want that new gasket, carburetor kit, air filter, oil change kit, and at some point we're gonna have to repair that.